1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You never realize how slow a second is until you're timing a seizure for your child. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe. Is she breathing? Are you breathing? Every second counts in a grand mal seizure, and remaining calm is just one of the many things you must do when waiting for the seizure to pass. My name is Catherine Reed, and I am the mother to a little girl with epilepsy. Just 5 short years ago, I couldn't tell you what an actual seizure looked like. Unfortunately, when my daughter was just 7 months old, she had her first seizure, and I had one of the harshest reality checks that a mother can have. My sweet girl was diagnosed with epilepsy, and we began the most demanding, rewarding challenge of our lives. When I had my second child, I marveled at her beauty, and I felt in my soul that she was going to change my world for the better. I named her Olivia after my grandmother, and Danae after my husband's sister, who had unfortunately passed before ever getting to meet Olivia. Olivia was tiny, weighing in at barely 5 pounds, but she was a fighter from the beginning, though we didn't realize just how much she was going to have to fight to get to her current 6 years. When Olivia was just 7 months old, she received a round of routine vaccinations, and within 1 hour, she began convulsing. Having a healthy 4-year-old child, I didn't know what to do with my suddenly stiffened, convulsing infant, and unfortunately panic set in. I helplessly watched for more than 4 minutes and made every attempt to use any medical information that I had ever watched on television. I prayed she wouldn't swallow her tongue, have brain damage, or even worse. Those were the longest 4 minutes of my life. That day marked a pivotal point in my life. Not only did I know that I never wanted to feel that helpless again, I knew that I would do everything in my power to make sure that Olivia would have the best medical care both at home and with her regular doctors. I began my research on medications, neurologists, genetic testing, and most importantly, rescue intervention. When it comes to interventions in epilepsy, you have a few options that pair with different seizure types. For the sake of today's demonstration, I'm going to use a grand mal seizure and the intervention that I would use on my daughter. Once a seizure begins, it's best to have a seizure timer on your cell phone. This will log the time, the type, and the intervention used. That way the neurologist has the data they need to treat your child. Some seizures have an aura or a feeling, a smell, or a taste that will help the patient identify that a seizure is going to happen. Unfortunately for Olivia, she is nonverbal and she's unable to alert us vocally, therefore I rely on cues from her. Crying, a scream, a sudden pause in playing or walking, those are all signs that she senses a change, and I know I only have a few moments to jump into action. Once my timer is set, the real rescue intervention takes place. Having a designated place for rescue medications is so important, and every member of the household should be aware of where that is and what to do in the event of an episode. Grabbing her bottle, I began to open packages while keeping an eye on Olivia to watch for breathing or choking. Her rescue medications consist of an atomizer, a syringe, a needle, an alcohol swab, and the rescue medication in her case is midazolam. For this demonstration, I have a setup that has already been opened, and I've replaced her midazolam with water. First, you will take your syringe and your needle, and you will twist the needle onto the syringe. Then you will take the cap off of your needle very carefully. You will then take your midazolam or rescue medication and tip it upside down. Gently place the needle in through the cap of the midazolam. Olivia weighs 21 kilograms, so she has 1 milliliter of midazolam. You will gently take the needle out of your medication and replace the cap. Then you will take your needle off of the syringe and replace it with the atomizer. Your atomizer then goes into the patient's nostril, and the goal is to get half of the medication in one nostril and half in the other, though sometimes that's hard. You then plunge it, and it turns it into a mist. Once the rescue dose is administered and the convulsions have stopped, I then stop the clock and log the intervention that I used. Knowing what to do has given me the confidence to feel secure in rescue intervention no matter where the seizure takes place. In a perfect world, I wouldn't need the information to administer medication to my daughter. Sadly, that isn't the case for us. But in my deep research, I'm able to educate others in how to intervene for seizures, whether it be for family, friends, or a stranger that may have an episode in your presence. I hope that by spreading my knowledge, I can prevent the panic that I felt 5 years ago. Thank you.